Today, we do not celebrate like other days, for it is a very special day. Today, we will hear the story of the Passover, the story of how God saved our ancestors from the slavery of Egypt. Today, we will also hear the story of the Last Supper, of Jesus and his disciples. We have heard these stories before, but today they have special meaning for us, because it is the day of the Passover and the day of the Last Supper. Our story begins many years ago in the land of Israel. In countless Jewish homes, as the sun began to set, the family would gather together to celebrate a special meal. The youngest of the family would ask the age-old question.
Why is this night different from other nights? Why is this meal special?
The father of the family would reply,
This night is the Passover of God. On this night, God passed over the land of Egypt. God struck down the firstborn of the Egyptians, but spared the children of Israel. On that night we ate in haste, for God was saving us from the slavery of Egypt. Yahweh was leading us forth with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. God was for us a cloud by day and a column of fire by night. God drowned our enemies in the Red Sea while we passed safely through the waters. God brought us to the foot of Mount Sinai and made a covenant with us. Yahweh became our God, and we became God's people. For 40 years in the desert, Yahweh God gave us manna to eat and water from the rock to drink. Finally, God led us to the land of Canaan, gave us victory over our enemies, and gave us this land as our own. And so we celebrate the Passover meal tonight, because this is the night God delivered us from prison and made us a free people.
But surely there is more to tell. Why is this night different for those who follow Jesus?
Let us go back over 2,000 years. The scene is an eastern city called Jerusalem. It is crowded with pilgrims because these are the days of the Passover. Among them is a group of poor people with the rough accents of Galilee. They have a leader called Jesus. Earlier in the day, Jesus sent 2 of his disciples ahead to prepare for the Passover meal. They purchased the lamb, had it slaughtered in the temple according to the law, bought wild herbs and lettuce, wine, and unleavened bread, for these are the traditional foods of the Passover. They made ready the upper room and waited for Jesus and the others. Jesus and his disciples came in weary from the road. Finally, all was ready. Everyone was seated, and Jesus spoke to them.
I have longed to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. I tell you, I shall not eat it again until it is fulfilled in the reign of God.
And so they ate the Passover meal.
But why do we eat one bread tonight?
Do you not know what Jesus did on this night? Jesus took the bread, and after he had given thanks to God, he broke it and gave it to his followers, saying,
Take this, all of you, and eat it. This is my body, which will be given up for you.
And so the bread we break is communion with the body of Christ. The fact that there is one bread means that though we are many persons, we form only one body, all who share in the one bread.
And why do we drink of the fruit of the vine tonight?
Also on that night, at the end of the meal, Jesus took the cup of blessing, gave praise and thanks, and gave it to his disciples, saying,
Take this, all of you, and drink of it. This is the cup of the new covenant, the promise that I seal with my blood. Do this whenever you drink it. Remember that I live in your midst. I tell you, I shall not drink of the fruit of the vine again until the day I drink anew with God.
And every time we eat this bread and drink this cup, we proclaim that Jesus went through death to life. He comes in our midst.
But one last question. Why do we wash feet on this night?
Because Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to pass from this world to God. He had preached a new commandment of love, and now he could show his love in action. They called him Master, but he said, I am in the midst of you as one who serves. Jesus got up from the meal and took off his cloak.